Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. At a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 carries, 106 yardage-wise, and the score as well.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
Come on, QB, come on.
From the gun, Levine. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So now the Colts will get their first opportunity with a football. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny with the offense?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after him early.
He's got daylight. The 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, 88 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Raheem Mostert, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Boswell good with the extra point. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 8 carries, 62 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Got an open man, that's Campbell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football. And guess what? I throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Ready, break.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Slam. Whip.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And to give this time to the tailback. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll run with Mack. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
36.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
Well, what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them.
Now the ball comes loose, and the Colts pick it up. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yard.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Throwing on 1st down. Levine, and he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. After 1, 17-7 is our score. Mostert. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Colts pick it up.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Big stop, let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to Crow. And Stills bringing it in. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of pride. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Now this throw caught left side and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
15 line. 15 line.
Quick throw into the hands of Hopkins out wide. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage. Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jabal sheared. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
On 2nd down, Church. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Wrap. Tighten up.
Ready.
They'll run on first down to Marlon Mack. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Cut. Watch twist. Watch
6-6. Bullet high. 2.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Mack. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Here's Campbell on 3rd down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
What? 50, plant.
Mike 58 right there. All day, every day, any day.
Get it.
On 1st and 10, Levine. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to lead the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Levine. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Levine. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be back.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Colts pick it up. The big fella. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Now the try here for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Houston. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Levine. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Back to throw. Levine to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the gun, Levine. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans get a bit closer.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. Anthony Miller, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Devontae Parker, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? Find out.
Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Colts to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
Got it. 52's the mark, boy. 52. We don't want this. Out.
Off the play fake. Campbell. Catch made here by Campbell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll keep it on the ground. Church. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Recon, 152 fighter.
Check three.
Looking to throw. Campbell. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead. He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra... The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off play action. Levine, rush coming, and he's taken down. The linebacker Darius Leonard applied the heat.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season as they are able to cut into that lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 30, right?
Not one that I've ever met. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Kill.
To throw is Campbell on 1st down. And he fires one incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And now it's second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 32-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Campbell. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line.
On the ready.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, lock it. Get it.
2nd and 4. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. This fielded at the 2. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here.
50, play.
On first down, Levine. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Banks.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Looking to throw. Levine. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? take whatever you want underneath by all means.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Going deep for Hopkins. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins. His second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. When you're trailing in the 4th quarter, you got to take some chances you might not normally take, and here, that one pays off big time.
And you have to think to yourself, not only did that pay off big time for them, but what was going on the opposite side of the ball? They know that they have to take a chance here. They know they have to come up with something big, yet it still happens. So credit the execution, but wonder what the defense was doing.
Here we go. 30 base.
Yeah, let's go set finish.
Check. Fresno.
They'll run on 1st down. Church. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. For this home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Back to throw. Levine, the Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Ben Banagoo. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Levine. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Throwing on 3rd and long. Levine. He sets to fire deep. That's caught at the 25. And I think the ball's out. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or 2 there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. That catch, number 750 of his NFL career, and it puts him even with not just 1 but 2 Hall of Famers, Michael Irvin and Charlie Joyner. So some pretty good company at 750.
Yeah, you're talking about the playmaker, Michael Irvin, and the guy who just made plays, Charlie Joyner. And that's what we're seeing here. Similar style in terms of being dependable, being open, and turning it into plays that you remember. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
It has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, Braxton, and he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll keep it on the ground. Braxton, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Throwing on first down, Levine. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10, right at the 40. Operating from the gun, Levine, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
To throw on 3rd down, Levine. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Miami
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
A fourth quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now.
As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top.
Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. They'll keep it on the ground. Church. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's taken down inside the 30. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And I tell you, these division games, never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game, on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for the Colts, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for